Okay, well, it's about time I stopped stalling, eh? Let's, well, we're back, finally. It's taken me a while, like 2 months, probably, since I've touched my 00 guitar here. But there's a lot of, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but there's a lot of pore filler stuck in like all the hard to get nooks and crannies. And it's about time I took care of it. All these little splotchy bits are also where like the sanding block didn't get. So there's like all these little splotches. Those are sanding block marks, or they're dips in the figure where the sanding block didn't reach because I used a sanding block. So I'm just gonna put on some more delightful music, and we're actually gonna work on the guitar for a change. All right, so hang on there. So standing off the pore filler off the sides and the back, getting that done. The next step is I want to try my hand at sunbursting the top a little bit. I want to do a little bit of a dark ring around the outer edge. The only way I can think to do this, because I'm not very good at this, is to mask off the sides. So you saw some of that. So I've masked off, I think, as far as I think I need to. I'll try not to, you know, maybe I should do one more row of tape just to get this last bit so I don't accidentally darken this binding, you know. So that's what I'm doing, and then I'm going to tape off the neck a bit more. I'm going to give it a little bit more tape here. But that's the idea, is I'm going to isolate this surface so that I can try to do a sunburst or a burst of some kind. Just some outer halo. I don't know what you would call that. Is that really a burst? It's kind of a burst. But just a dark area around the outer edge. It's going to do a few things for me. It's going to help cover up a few blemishes that I haven't shown you guys because I'm embarrassed. There's a spot where I scraped through the binding here. There's a spot down here where there was a little tear out on the end. So that should all kind of cover pretty well that way, I hope. I've not done this on anything else before, so I'm going to try to practice on some scrap. But for the most part, this is probably going to be a do what you can and get it on the guitar. So I'm going to start out with really incredibly light cuts, or really incredibly light coats. You know, that's where we are on the neck so far. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it masked up, and then we'll work out when I do we'll work out what color and how I'm going to go about making this burst-ish thing. Burst-ish thing? I don't know. Anyway, I figured I'd give you some talking for just a second, and then, yeah. So once this is all masked, I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start actually putting this burst down. Alright, welcome back to the shop. Finally, I'm back to this thing. You guys are watching, right now, you watching this was literally shot 2 days ago, this past Thursday. Today is Thursday, you're going to see this coming Saturday. That is how close to real time I can get you right now, because I am literally out of any other footage. So, yeah, so we've got it all masked, and that's where I left you the last time in the same video. You got a little bit of the sanding, got a little bit of the masking. Now it's completely done masked. It's completely done masked. It's completely done with the masking, at least for the body part of this. And it's on a Lazy Susan here because I figure I'll stand somewhere like maybe around here, and I can spray and move the guitar around without tipping that bottle over, of course, and put in the burst. That's what we're ready to do. I forgot to say that. So we're ready to, you know, okay. So we're all masked and we're ready to try to do this burst. I've never done a burst before. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm going to practice. No, I'm not going to practice. I've got a bit of scrap right here. This is maple, so it's going to absorb differently, but I'm not too worried about that. It's just a reasonably decent color match for the spruce, and I don't want to spray on them. I'm being very, very stingy with my scraps of spruce because I only have so much. So what I'm going to do is I've got a 3-ounce bottle of denatured alcohol, and I've got some dark vintage maple trans-tint dyes. I'm going to put a few dots in and do a few drops, I should say. Put in a few drops and see how that sprays. I'm going to do my best to lay this down super lightly, very, very little. I thought about doing a shellac top coat first, like a seal coat, and maybe I'll learn that I should have done so, but I'm going to skip it this time. I'm not really worried about bleeding, and I'm not really worried about having to seal it. I think it's going to behave just fine. I did think about using shellac and just tinting the shellac so it would be both the sealer and not, but I think I'm going to stick with as simple pieces as possible at a time, and I don't think I need a shellac sealer yet. The less I put on there building up, the better, so that it doesn't dampen the vibrations, at least. So that's my understanding. Could be completely pulling that out of my rear. So we're just going to get after this. Hemming and hawing a little bit here. I got to do the drops in here. I'm figuring I'll put about, I don't know, 10 or 15 drops, and then I'll lay it down really light because there's 3 ounces in here. And I have a feeling, I'm going to use some of it on my testing, but I have a feeling the 3 ounces should be enough to get me all the way around. Maybe. If not, I'll keep going. We'll just keep layering on as it goes and see what happens. I have my, we'll see how it goes. I have my CNC machine running right now. Well, it's on and waiting to go. It's going to be noisy with that running, and I'm kind of working out how to have that machine going while I film footage for you guys on my build videos. So I'm still kind of working that out. You may get a lot more voiceover stuff while the machine's running. It's too noisy because when the machine's running, it's just a little too loud to talk over. So I'm going to go ahead and put a few drops in here. What the hell? Why don't we just do it? Let's just get after it. Put in a few drops. And let's go get some paper towels before we get after it, shall we? Let's go get after some paper towels. Because I'm going to get some all up on my fingers. There ain't no way to avoid it. Okay. All right. Let's put, what do you say, 10 drops for 3 ounces. That's probably enough to start with. These are so hard to drip. 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, 8, 9. One more, come on, you can do it. 10. Oh, there's 11. Okay, we got 11 in there because you squeeze in excitement. No. All right. So there's 11 to the 3 ounces. I think I'm going to drop one more in there and just call it an even 12 just so that the math will work out nicely in case I have to mix up some more. Do one more drop. 12. Okay. That is enough. 12 for 3 ounces, so that's 4 per ounce. That should be pretty darkening. I don't want this to be opaque. I want it to be fairly translucent. But I do want it to be dark. So we'll get this together. And like I said, it's just pure alcohol now. Stir it a little bit. I think we're fine. Okay. I'm going to put this on my airbrush. I think I'm going to put, I've already gotten enough on me as it is. I'm going to put on some gloves and I'll be right back. Alright, I've moved the guitar to a safe location so that I can practice trying to do a edge sort of bursty thing here. We've just got our alcohol here. Yeah, that's gonna spray. I'm gonna do a little quick on the back to make sure I'm gonna get anything here, just to get a sense of how. Oh, this isn't nearly dark enough. I barely turned it yellow. I want to go about a fair bit darker than that, so I'm going to go grab some more dye. I know how this works with this airbrush. We need to empty it. We're going to go a fair bit darker. I'm going to add probably another dozen drops. It needs to be quite a bit darker. It's very, very light now. It barely turned it yellow. Yeah, I barely even got it wet, and that's going to get lighter when it dries. So I'm going to do another 12 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Come on. It's making a mess. We're on 10 so far. E 11, 12. There we go. All right. I have a feeling we're going to need even more than that, so I'm just going to go after a little bit more with it here. A little stir. Yeah, see, it's already dried. You can barely even tell where I sprayed. That was hardly nothing. I'm letting it flash off here. We'll see if we got anywhere near dark enough yet. We're darker, not near dark enough though. I'm going to go quite a lot more. We're going to do a ton of drops here. A ton of drops, like 24 drops. We're going to really double what's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so now we're up to 48 drops. Or no, sorry. Yeah, we're up to 48 drops now. That's a lot. That should be plenty dark now. If it's not dark enough, I'm going to add some black and that'll help it. That is better though, see? Not nearly as dark as I want it, but it's better. This is why we test. I'm trying to spare you guys a lot of this, but this is an area I think, because it's new to me too, it's kind of valuable. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. I'm going to add some black though. That isn't nearly enough yet. I'm going to get some black out of the drawer and get a couple of drops in there for that. Now, which one of you is black? No, not quite. I almost picked it first try. How about you? Black. So to darken, you add black. It's mostly going to be brown, but I'm going to add 6 drops of black and see where we end up. See how much darker the straw is? We're getting there. We are getting close. So 6 drops of the black here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm doing it this way. I'm getting it as dark as possible so that it is the darkest is still acceptable. And then as I lay it down, I can lay it down in thin coats so it can still be pretty light. Yeah, it's dark, but it's not where I want it. So we're going to keep doing this until I get the right color I'm after. And again, we're in that game where I've got a color in mind. And so we're not trying to match anything, and there's no formula. It's just I have what I want it to look like. And so we're going to just, we're coloring by wingman. We're winging the color. Coloring by wing, I don't have a word. I'm trying to find a way to say that, but it doesn't matter. Don't matter. Okay, let's see how this looks. No, not quite there. I'm gonna go more black. It's heading there. It's heading there, but it's not there yet. I'm going to double up that black. We're going to go with another 6 drops of black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to give you another 7. I'm going to do 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I went triple the black. So now we're up to 18 black and 48 of the dark vintage maple. And if this isn't enough, I'm going to go more brown because I don't want it to get too blackish. I'll go with more darker brown, like a dark vintage walnut or a darker walnut stuff or something like that. All right. Getting there. Yeah, we're kind of there, I think. So now let's see how hard this is to do a burst. It looks like it's pretty dang easy to do a burst. Okay, let's see. I'm going to tape off a spot. I want to get some sort of comparison here. Let's see if I can hold this somehow. Hold it in the vise. There we go. Just like that. That'll do. I'm going to tape off a spot on this so that I can sort of compare what the burst looks like. It's also going to let me know how badly it'll bleed. So let's do it like this is fine. No, it's not. We'll go this way. Do like that. And I just want to get kind of a window into the uncolored, unpigmented bare wood, so I see what that sort of looks like before I'm committed. All right, there, little tape action. Now we can take this out of the vicey vise, and we can try this. So I'm going to start near the taped off section. And just lay very little bit down. There we go. See how we're getting kind of a shade? It's very subtle right now. Ooh, I just went full hog there. It's easy to do that. Okay. And I'm gently, this is a variable airbrush, so I'm very, very little fluid, mostly air, very little liquid. And I'm trying to focus the spray pattern up near the corner of that edge so that most of the darkness ends up there. I'm getting a little closer to try to concentrate it there. And I'm also trying to keep it even. Right now I've got it cocked at like a quarter of the fluid. I'm not going full bore with the fluid yet. And I think if it's sitting this way, I can do this. reasonably evenly. I'm going to start moving in towards the middle a bit because I've got a lot on the edge, but it's looking thin. So let's try to get a little bit of fluid into the middle area there. Hang out in a couple of spots to keep it, try to keep it even. I'm starting to get there. It's a little heavy right here. It's a little light right there, so I can just come in and focus on that area. And I think this is how I'm going to do it. Is I'm going to spray a little, check it. Spray a little, check it. And just hang out where I need to hang out when it needs more. Move past it quickly when I need less. And it's working out pretty good, I think. The nice thing is I can just keep adding coats. As needed. So far we've worked through maybe a half an ounce. Just try to get a little evenness here. Even it out right there. And I can really just dial in spotness where I want to put more color. That's why I like my airbrush. You use what's comfortable. A lot of guys would say this is the wrong tool for the job, but the tool that works is the tool I like. So, and sometimes the tool that works best is the tool you're most comfortable with. And I am definitely more comfortable with this than a regular gun. Regular gun is either on or off. This, I like the variable. I like the control I have. And then just kind of an overall, from a distance, maybe help even that out a bit. I'm on full blast here. Oh yeah, that goes a lot quicker. Lays down a lot more. But it does look like it's even. Okay, that is pretty close to what I want. We've used about maybe a half an ounce. I may have to make some more. I'm going to let that flash a bit, and then I'll peel off the tape and see where we ended up. Bring you back in a sec. Okay, I pulled the tape off, and I can see the line now where it didn't catch or didn't color. I think it's too much black now, so I'm going to have to start over. I don't like how dark that is. I don't like how, not so much, I like the density of the color, I just don't like how black the color is. I want it browner than that. Yeah, so that kind of means I've got to waste a little bit of alcohol, but that's alright. That's what happens when I don't test first. It also is spraying into the middle a lot, which is probably fine on the guitar because that's an area that's bigger. It's a larger area and it won't be as bad. But even if it does come to there, check this out. I think I am safe to, now let's do it with some 320. I was going to do 220, but I think I'm safe to grab some 320 and just sand away some of the color in the middle, and it'll blend a bit. And this piece of material is rough sanded, so it's not the greatest, but that even got rid of a lot of the inner tone, the inner darkness, because the line here is now fading. So, okay, so I think I have a plan, a process. I'll spare you coming up with the color this time, but you see kind of where I am. I did come up with some of the color. This actually isn't bad here where I started. Maybe I can go back to that with no black. I'll just try it without any black again. Because I forgot that once you spray this on, it pretty much dries right away, and you can come back with a second coat. Like pretty quickly, and just keep building and adding to the color, and it'll darken it that way too. So I'm going to start over with a little bit more fresh alcohol, and when I land on my color, we'll do it for real on the guitar. Okay, cool, I found my color. So I went back to the Just Browns, just the honey, what was it called? Dark vintage maple. Just that, and it was too yellowish. So I added 3 drops of red and 2 drops of black to darken it. That is where I'm after. That looks good. With a clear finish on the surface, that's going to darken up a little bit and look a little brighter. And it'll match well with both the rosewood, because there's a little red in that, and the walnut, because there's a lot of brown in it. I'm going to bring it up here so you can see where I've landed. I'm into this bit here. Looking pretty good. The dark line right here, the sharp line here, is actually the color of this plank, this wood. So what I can do is anything that's off or too far or doesn't gradiate right, I can sand back with 320. Never mind these lines. Those are from, can you even see those lines? Yeah, not really. See the sanding lines? Those are from being done. This is run through the drum sander. The top of the guitar was sanded better than that, so that'll look better too. So I think I'm ready. I've done enough testing. I'm going to put the guitar back up here and give you guys some beautiful music while I go about putting a burst of this particular color onto it. Well, here we go. Okay, not bad for my first. That's pretty good. I'm pretty pleased. It looks a lot, it's definitely darker here than I was after, but it's more so I can sand some back and I can even some of this out. So like there's a little bit of a spot right in here that's not here, so I can sand some of that out. Like get the shape decent. Take a little bit out of this area and a little out of here, and just sort of even up the whole thing so that the whole surface is pretty smooth and the color is pretty consistent. But hey, not too bad for a first burst. First burst. And so yeah, I'm really pleased with how it came out. I was scared at first and I went really slowly, but in the end I got no complaints. It came out pretty good. I think I want to get some of this masking tape off quickly, so that anything that's underneath, no, it's too late now. The alcohol has already flashed off. So I don't think anything got underneath, and if it did, it's lighter than the walnut is anyway, so I'm not terribly concerned. Yeah, so that is my very first burst, and I think it's going to come out good. I'm going to take some of this back to lighten it a bit. When the bridge is on, where did I put the bridge? So, hold on a second. I'm going to shine the bridge up. I'll polish it like I did the fretboard, and the bridge will be, you know, right about in there. That's not too bad, eh? Eh? Not bad. He's no bad. Yeah, so that's going to work out pretty good, I think. I'm really pleased with how this came out, really. It would go that way, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, that's going to work out well. I'm quite happy with it. We're going to let it dry, even though the alcohol is already flashed off, well off. I'm going to let it dry because I've got more branding irons to cut anyways, and I'm good with this for now. I'll take a little bit of sandpaper to it probably tomorrow and just even things out. So hey, we got our burst done. that means we're really close to spraying lacquer very, very soon. You'll probably see that next week. So for now, I think I may be able to call this the episode. Yeah, I'm going to call this the episode. So it may be a shorter than usual episode because I did a lot of like spraying and stuff. But yeah, we're coming up on the home stretch. The only thing left now is putting some lacquer down. And then when I get to putting the bridge on, that's like the last bit, cutting the slot for the saddle. So yeah, that's it for this one. We'll see you next week. Get after it.